Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, yearly upload of Twilight Princess. Happy birthday to you. I've bought you a Goron for a present. He's very cool. He can like crawl into a ball and turn into like Sonic the Hedgehog, and then he just goes up, poof, and explodes you up to the top of a roof. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, what's up? I'm NBZ. This is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. It's a video game that's made by Nintendo. They're a video game company. They make very difficult video games. You can see I'm just dying immediately without any skill whatsoever. I'm just terrible. Hey, so Twilight Princess, we're back for the 2019 upload. Yeah, how we doing? What's happened since the last upload? I got a job and then left a job. Breath of the Wild still exists. It's still very good. Nintendo, they announced things. Reggie left Nintendo. That was a sad thing. Yeah, lots of things happened. But you know what? This never changes. This will never change because this is the ultimate video game. And this is the ultimate playthrough of that video game. I made a comment the other day where I was like, you know what? It would be really cool if I got to the age of 80 and I still hadn't finished Twilight Princess, because then Buzzfeed would write an article about me. If Buzzfeed still existed, of course, when I'm 80 years old. Buzzfeed would be like, look at this guy. He started playing this video game when he was 18 years old, and now he's 80. Look at that. That's a catchy headline. I'd probably give them really good SEO, actually. And it would be like, look, like, this guy decided that he just wanted to make the longest Let's Play of all time. And he did it. Now, here's the thing. Do I really want to do that? I don't know. Will my Wii last that long? Or I should say my Wii U, because this is being recorded on my Wii U. That's the real question, because I don't think it will, necessarily. So we've got to plan these things out, right? Like, and maybe I record the entirety of it, but then I don't actually commentate it until I'm, like, older. You know, one of those things? That might be the way to go with this. Anyway, I still hate the thing in Twilight Princess where it just fucking puts it back in the chest. Like, well, actually, I kind of don't. I kind of don't, just because it means I'm not wasting money, but it means like there's a load of unopened chests in the world, and it's stupid. Anyway, in case you couldn't tell, this is post-commentary because, look, this is the cleanup episode, okay? This is the final cleanup episode, I believe so. According to my data logs of all the shit that's in this game, I'm getting every last Poe, except for the ones in the Cave of Ordeals, which obviously the Cave of Ordeals is a thing I have to do, which I've never done before, so that's going to be a fun thing. So this is every Poe in the overworld, and every heart piece that I still don't have, and the last two heart pieces, basically, because the last two heart pieces that I actually will get will be in the Twilight Palace, which will be the last dungeon. It's technically not the last dungeon, because like Ganon's castle, but can you even call that a dungeon? Also, so I got Bally's guide, the Prima guide, which tells me where all my Poes are, and I literally, since 2011, whenever the fuck I started this thing, I've been ticking them off on my list. I've been ticking them off, and for some reason, I ticked off that I had this fucker, but I didn't, and I got to this point on my list, and I was like, well, I've 56 Poes, I need 57, but I've ticked off everyone on this list, and you know what? I hadn't, and I'd done the wrong thing. I ticked off a Poe I didn't have. But anyway, with that last Poe there, that takes us up to 57 Poes. So we're pretty much good to go. The Cave of Ordeals are the last 3 Poes. That's 60. All I need to do now is talk to Giovanni, and then talk to Agatha with all the bugs, give them to her. And then I need to do this motherfucking stupid thing, which I swear I had done. I swear I had gone around and talked to all these motherfucking cats, but no, apparently not. My memory's not as good as I remember it to be, clearly. I had just done the Wild West thing, which is where you go around and kill all the fucking bokoblins with their arrows and nonsense. But I hadn't done this particularly fun challenge, which this might be like one of the worst things in the game, finding these 20 fucking cats and talking to them. Look, I've never been a fan of animals generally. I'm a known hater of dogs. I think dogs are awful and the worst thing imaginable. Me and my sister are very agreed on this, right? Like, we hate animals generally. I think it's because she grew up with a lot of allergies to them, so we could never have fur in the house because she was allergic to it. So, like, I had a goldfish, right? I had these 2 goldfish. Let's go back in time, right? I had these 2 goldfish. They're called Rosie and Jim. Well, no, they weren't, because I only had one goldfish, in fact, because the idea was I was going to get Rosie and Jim from the classic hit television program Rosie and Jim. But I, in fact, just got one, and it was Rosie. And she lasted for all of 3 days and then died. And then I've never had a pet since. The one pet I've ever had is a fucking goldfish called Rosie, who died in 3 days. So that explains probably to you why I don't have an affinity for pets and animals. I never grew up with them. I also think they smell like shit. I also really don't like the way that people treat them like they're humans. I don't know. Controversial, I know. I know a lot of people are going to give me hate for this, but hey, you got to be a person. You got to speak your mind and your opinions. And dogs and cats and all the other rest of them they're just not my jam, you know. They're just not my favorite thing in the world. So the problem with this, right, is because you have to run around like a headless fucking chicken. Ironic that a chicken asks you to do this. This is a game in which you, as a dog, are tasked by a chicken to find 20 cats. This is this Legend of Zelda game. This prestigious series, known for 30 years of classic video games, intelligent design, beautiful art, storylines that are serviceable at best. In this video game, I'm being asked by a chicken to find 20 cats. And isn't that just the most Legend of Zelda thing possible? I mean, it really isn't in a lot of senses. But Twilight Princess has always been a Zelda game about nonsense, right? It's interesting because I recently played through Oracle of Seasons for the first time. And like, the number of heart pieces you have to get in that game is pretty minimal. It's like 12. And guess how many heart pieces you have to find in Twilight Princess? No, not double that. Not triple that, no. Quadruple. Almost. You have to find 45 heart pieces. Which is just like, you think about that and it's like, man, they really just went for it with Twilight Princess, didn't they? They just were like, hey man, just take all these heart pieces. Like, you gotta go search this world because we've hidden them really well. You're gonna even have to use the spinner for one of them. It's gonna be a thrill ride. But of course they had to hide one of them behind a stupid fucking mini game where I have to talk to cats. At least the music's okay. Like, I kind of like the westerny music that goes along with this. It fits the tone. So we get to this point where I'm like, I don't know where the fuck the rest of the cats are, so we're going to just speed through things here and make things a little bit easier for you to watch, because I don't want you guys sitting here watching me just running around like a moron for the rest of this video. Although most of the rest of this video is this stupid cat thing, followed by me doing an ice block pushing puzzle. So really, just the highest quality of content you expect. Like, here's the thing, right? Last year's episode was me for 5 minutes running around and then doing one mini game. At least in this one, you got a bit more chunky things. Like, it's not that consequential to continuing Twilight Princess as a video game, but it gets me closer to that 100%. Here's the thing, like, since I started doing, like, Let's Plays and stuff with this channel, I always wanted them to be like Chugga Conroy. And the thing that Chugga Conroy always did, and honestly a lot of the Nintendo Let's Players, like Nintendo Capri Sun, was get 100%. And like, I feel philosophically now that I'm just not that person who gets 100% in video games. I just never have been, and I kind of lied to myself. That I was like, look, I'm going to do Super Luigi Galaxy because I want to get 100% in Mario Galaxy by doing the stupid Luigi to get the very final extra green star. The entire playthrough was basically just trying to get 100%. It was a Longcon, you see. You guys thought it was a Let's Play. In fact, it was me trying to fulfill my stupid own desires of getting the 122nd star, or whatever the fuck it was, 200 and something. Who knows how many goddamn stars there are in that game. But my philosophy on 100%ing things has just become like, what's the point? Like, if you're not doing it for the pure enjoyment of actually playing the game, then why even bother, right? It's why, when I last year got the Spyro Reignited Trilogy Platinum for Spyro 1, it was because I really enjoyed revisiting that game, and I wanted to go for it, and I wanted to get 100%, because, in all honesty, Spyro is a game that's kind of built around getting 100%. It's kind of no point in... There's not a lot of fun in that game not getting 100%, right? Because the levels are very easy and short, and they don't necessitate you just kind of faffing about, right? It's not where you're going to get the most enjoyment, right? So that's why, good job, Zed, just fucking roll into the window. They don't necessitate that, right? Something like Twilight Princess, like, this shit is fucking tedious. Who wants to run around and talk to cats? Nobody. I mean, somebody, sure. One person, this was their favourite part of Twilight Princess. I'd like to meet them. Be interesting, for sure. But it really is not the thing that I want to be spending my time doing. And yet I'm doing it. Because I, as a 18, 17-year-old, however the fuck I old was, person, thought, well, this'll be a fun thing. Why don't I 100% this video game? And to be frank, that's basically the entire reason it's gone on as long as it has, because of my necessity to, like, get this Prima guide from my friend and then use it to tick things off, and then I didn't have it at one point in time, so I couldn't do it, and it's just like, I'm always waiting to have this stupid guidebook so I can finish it. And I feel this catharsis, right? I do feel this catharsis because we're at a time and place now where I have finally, I feel, 100%ed the game in terms of the bullshit, in terms of the getting all the heart pieces, in terms of finding the post souls, in terms of getting all the bugs, in terms of upgrading to the biggest quiver and getting the largest wallet. Like, all the pieces are in place now. All I need to really go do, after I've done this cat thing and push the ice blocks, is to go talk to Agatha to give her all the bugs, finish up the Cave of Ordeals to clear out my pose, then talk to Giovanni and give him all the pose, and then it's pretty much home straight. Then I don't actually have to worry about anything, except for I can't forget to collect the 2 pieces of heart in the Temple of Twilight, the Palace of Twilight, whatever the fuck it's called. But once that's done, well, then we're pretty much at the end of the game, aren't we? And it's the question, right? It's the question of, like, when I do a dungeon, I usually just record it all in one. But am I going to be an arsehole, right? This is the real question. Am I going to be an arsehole? Because what I could feasibly do is record the entire dungeon and then just upload it over the course of the next 10 years, you know? That would be fun. Like, oh, do you remember where we were last time? You watched this video 20 years ago. Let's see if you remember. See, that's a fun, like, game that we play with each other, right? And there's this time capsule as well of me at this age currently, which is 27, by the way, which is, fuck my life, that's old. Still doing this. Also, by the way, it was in this stupid alley on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, I guess. That was where the last goddamn cat was. Now, this stupid alley that I ignored. He said, I mean, the chicken told me at the start. The cuckoo, he warned me. He did say, check from the beginning and make sure you check every area. And I ignored him. I didn't do it, so. You know, what do you expect? Do I get retribution? No. But I do get to get a heart piece, thankfully, which is a good bonus for doing this. It's actually not the bonus, it's actually the entire point. So yeah, there we go. That's 1 heart piece gotten. And so we need 3 more for a full heart container. 1 of which we're going to get right now, which is in the ice block cave. Another one that I've been putting off. I guess, like, these are the last 2 heart pieces I put off because they're just really fucking annoying. And the one before I did on the last video, which wasn't actually a heart piece, it was getting the big quiver. But it's one of those things that the stupid mini game. Like, this isn't difficult, right? But I just wanted to have a guide up while I was doing it so I didn't waste time. So that's what I did. So it may look like I'm a complete genius here, pushing blocks in a predetermined order as if I am Morpheus in the Matrix seeing the green lines before me, but alas I am not. Alas, I am merely a human with all these human flaws. And isn't that the condition of being a human? Flaws. Let's get philosophical, because it is Zelda and it's all about philosophy. Yeah, anyway, so I don't know, comment in the comments if you want this series to go until I'm 80 years old, or if you want me to finish it sooner. I really don't know what a good, like, end date would be, but you've got the power, I guess. Maybe, like, it feels like I shouldn't, right? It feels like if I finish Twilight Princess, I'm closing a book, right? I'm closing a book that cannot be opened again. And do I really want to close that book? Like, I closed that book on Pokemon. That book is closed. I can try and open it again, but it's never going to be the same, you know? It's never going to be the same. And people say, make 5 guys in a Gigalith. I'm like, I know you want that, but it's not going to be the same. I'm a different person, you know? Whereas I kind of am the same person with Twilight Princess. I don't know what it is, but something about, like, when I talk and record Twilight Princess, I just revert back to my, like, childlike self, who just spouts constant nonsense. I don't know. It's just the way it is, you know? It's just the way it is, as that famous song says. I don't even know who sings a song like that. I haven't listened to music in a while. I need to get back into it. Drop your music suggestions in the comments as well. I think Biffy Clyro has a new album out. God, can we talk about how the fact of, like, all your favourite bands just suddenly put out music that is just bad? And how much of a bummer that is? Because it's a bummer, man. It's a pretty massive bummer. I just wish that... Like, I get it. People... Look at me. People are never the same. They're always different. So you can't just go around, like... Do the same music, Paramore. Never be different. Always stay the same. It's just not feasible. It's just... It's not a thing that works. So, yeah. I like the ice physics. Ice physics have always been a thing that, you know, people get annoyed by, but I was always that kid, and I probably told this story before, right? But, like, Pokemon Gold and Silver, the Ice Cave, no one could figure out the puzzle. Speaking of which, like, I probably should have just done this myself, because I am pretty good at, like, ice block pushing puzzles, if I say so myself. I was the person who all my friends came to, because they're like, oh, I got to the point with the ice block pushing puzzle, I don't know how to do it. And I was the only one who just could do it. I was just very good at it. I knew the lines, I knew where to go. It's one of my favourite parts, actually, of that era of Pokemon. It's like, it kind of had puzzles, you know? And I feel like we lost that. We lost sight of that a lot of the modern Pokemon games that just are very story-driven and linear and don't really go in those directions anymore. But, like, that was a legitimate puzzle. It was a great, really good one. And, like, the dungeons, of course, had their things with strength, and, like, you push it down the hole, it falls down the hole to the next area, and you have to go get it again. Just fine. Like, it's good. It's not perfect. But they were, you know, they were leaning towards something, right? They had ideas. They had thoughts about how they could deliver it, and they did deliver it pretty well, so. So yeah, anyway. Almost done here. Almost going to finish up pushing this block onto the Switch. And yeah, and then there's your episode of Twilight Princess for the year. I don't know, I might do another one soon, who knows. I mean, I said that. The end of the last video, I said, don't worry guys, I'll be back soon. And then a year passed, and I was like, whoops. Well, that truly is it. So, we'll just watch the sky here and the pyramid, and see you next time. Bye, folks.